Hi everyone. I hope you're good. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I hope you enjoy this. So today we're actually going to be talking about this book, Bamboozled by Jesus, written by Yvonne Orji, and she says how God tricked me into the life of my dreams. Yeah, this book was good. If you have not read it, please go read it, and if you have, I would actually also like to hear what you learned from the book. So for me, the first thing that I just have to say is that the soundtrack that kept popping in my head and in my mind and in my heart was Settle for Less by Kayam Tetwa. So like it was just saying to me that I really need to be expecting more from my father, from God, from Jesus, obviously, because currently I think what I do sometimes is like, I think I got this. He'll take care of the big things, and that's not what it's about. Remember, relationship with God is supposed to be in all facets of your life. But hey, before we become all preachy, let's get to the lessons from this book. The first lesson was embracing your quirkiness. In society, we've a lot of times seen one type of Christianity. So whenever other people are doing things or are seen to be doing things that we're like, that's shaky, we question their Christianity or their relationship. But I believe that comes honestly from a place of religion and thinking we are the ones that are there with our tick marks to say right or wrong, and that's not the case. So here I enjoyed her writing style. She was very quirky in how she wrote, like the jokes, the language. Just obviously it was English, but her way of speaking English was actually quite cool. So I it was just reminded of that the truth is honestly God relates to us the way we are, and we need to own that and stop wanting to fit into one box, because the box is honestly not the same for everyone. Some people maybe need a circle and not a square. And the second thing that I learned, and for me this is the biggest one because I didn't realize I was doing it until when I was reading this book, it's being prepared. So when you do new things in your life, a lot of times what we do is we will celebrate the yes girl, you showed up, and if let's say you failed in that thing or it didn't work out, we will always celebrate the fact that you showed up. And I'm not minimizing the fact that it's important to show up, but how we show up is quite important. The reality is, in everything that you try that is new, the true measure of whether you succeeded or like you gave it your all is, were you a ferocious student in whatever you were learning? Like, did you turn all the tables to make sure you learn all you want, or were you treating it casually, and when it didn't fail you're like, oh well, but at least I showed up? Because I feel like that's what we do a lot of times now. So just the importance of, in every space that you go in prepared. Don't just say I came therefore I've won. That's not how life works, and that's not actually what God expects from us. We need to be prepared to honor him. Like, also remember, as the people see us, they need to see that excellence in everything, even when you come out the other way saying, I didn't win. But even if you didn't win, in a sense that you didn't achieve the results that you wanted, the pride must come from the fact that, but I really gave it my all, and that is important. So that was a big lesson for me that I really learned. And then the third lesson that I actually learned was that if we're going to do the mandate of Jesus, of being fishers of men, our lives must really show that. So people must want the whatever water we're drinking. They must be looking at it like at our lives and saying, I want what she's having. And that for that to happen, it's gonna require us to continuously allow ourselves to be renewed. And from the simplest of things, in how we show up in our workplaces, how we show up with our friends, how we show up with strangers, not even just the people that, but how we continuously show up must speak to who is actually leading us. And that becomes very important, because you can go on thinking, no, I'm a nice person, and it's not even about being a nice person. But and thinking that you're doing fine, but actually you have lost it completely. So it's important for us to actually operate from a place of and allowing ourselves to continuously be renewed and seeing that God is working through us, and people must see that with our words, with our actions. They must see that this is the modeling of actually someone who believes in what God expects from us. Then the fourth lesson that I learned is being intentional and listening to the Holy Spirit about what we're supposed to do. This one also hit hard, and it hit hard because there are different personalities, obviously, in life. There are those personalities, like for me, I'm that person that gets joy from acting or doing something. And sometimes when you do that, you think, oh, I'm winning. But the question is, are you actually doing at that very moment what you're supposed to be doing for that season in your life? So it's important to really be consulting and listening to what the Holy Spirit is saying about this. So I'm just gonna read a paragraph or a statement that she said in the book. I hope I read it. So here she was obviously going through things and she was questioning God. But what happened is she had the Holy Spirit. So this is page 83, and the title of the chapter is Miracles Don't Make Reservations. So here she hears the Holy Spirit saying, after she obviously moans, and you're gonna have to read the book to get the full context. And the Holy Spirit says, I gave you something in your hand that you've done nothing with. Instead, you have busied yourself into believing you've been working hard, when in reality, you've been lazy with what I've purposed you to do. So that's why I'm making the point of sometimes we think we actually doing well, but the reality is we are not busy with whatever that we're supposed to be busy with for that season. Or even the opposite will be happening, where you are struggling and you're like, but I'm really giving my all. But actually at that time, God is saying, but this is not what I need you to be working on. So that's why it's important for us to actually then continuously allow ourselves to be to hear from the Holy Spirit, and that requires a lot of silence. I know I struggle with that sometimes, where I overwhelm myself with things. And remember, when life happens also, like a lot of adjusting needs to happen, and the adjusting takes time. But being important in hearing, when you are sensing that I'm feeling empty, or I'm sensing that I'm not hearing, like my spirit is not settled enough, just take the time to actually do that and continuously ask God to help you know what you're supposed to be busy with, because we really need him. And if we're going to contribute to making the world better, we need God to be guiding us in everything. So those are the lessons. There were many, many more lessons. You know, I enjoyed the book. So what I do whenever I read a book is I put stick-ons in some of the pages, or like at the end of the chapter, I'll put stick-ons about what I learned, and I also write on my journal to say what I've learned, whatever. Because okay, I have this thing of I can borrow the book to someone else and they don't have to be influenced by what actually touched me. They can read it with a fresh set of eyes, or if I want to donate the book elsewhere, they're not underlined personally. But there was a lot more to this. So please, if you have not read the book, go read the book. It's a very, very nice read, and it's actually not even just for Christians. It's a book for anyone who expects more from their lives and actually wants to do something about it. So please enjoy, and if you enjoyed this, please like the video, and if you wanna just know more about whatever I post next, please subscribe. Thank you, family. Until next time, bye.